The most genius Secret Service operation ever. Well, did you know that in 2014, a Russian hacker walked through the departure lounge of a Maldivian airport carrying 1.7 million stolen credit card numbers on his laptop, completely untouchable by law, and that in less than an hour, he would be snatched by Americans with no legal authority, in what became one of the most audacious operations in law enforcement history. How could a handful of agents pull off an extraction across continents while skirting international law, all in the middle of a tropical monsoon? This is the story of Roman Seleznev, a hacker who thought he was untouchable, and the Secret Service operation that proved otherwise. Roman Seleznev, operating under the alias Track 2, built a criminal empire before he turned 25. He pioneered a method for breaching point-of-sale systems at restaurants, hotels, and retail chains across the United States. The approach was elegant in its brutality. Infiltrate payment processors, install malware that copied card data during legitimate transactions, and harvest thousands of numbers as customers swiped their credit cards, completely unaware. By 2014, Seleznev had stolen 2.9 million credit card numbers and caused $170 million in verified damages across hundreds of American businesses. His online marketplaces, Track2.name and Tupac.cc, functioned as eBay for stolen financial data, allowing fraudsters on 6 continents to convert card information into cash, merchandise, and untraceable gift cards. Roman flaunted his wealth, spending profits on Lamborghinis, chartered yachts, and resort suites costing more per night than most Americans earn in a month. Yet, his greatest shield was not money, it was his father. Valery Seleznev held a seat in the Russian State Duma, and in Moscow that bloodline was equivalent to armor. For 9 years, Roman operated openly because he understood a fundamental truth of international law. Jurisdiction ends at the frontier. Every U.S. extradition request landed in Moscow's trash. The Federal Security Service, FSB, protected him, a courtesy extended to the children of politicians whose cooperation the Kremlin valued. For a decade, American cybercrime investigators could do nothing but watch as Roman flaunted his crimes across the internet. The same arrogance that had allowed Roman to evade authorities eventually led to his downfall. After years of avoiding any country with a U.S. extradition treaty, he sought a luxurious vacation to match his self-image as royalty of the digital underworld. He carefully selected the Maldives, a country with turquoise waters, 5-star resorts, and crucially, no extradition agreement with the United States. Seleznev booked a $50,000 water villa, complete with a personal butler and a private deck over the Indian Ocean. He believed he had found the perfect loophole, a paradise where his wealth equaled immunity. What he did not know was that his airline reservation had triggered a flag in a U.S. Secret Service database 8,000 miles away in Washington. Analysts immediately recognized his name and flagged the upcoming flight to Malé International Airport as a rare opportunity that could vanish in days. A conference call connected federal officials across 3 agencies. The law was clear. The United States had no legal authority in the Maldives. Formal extradition requests would alert Russian intelligence, who would warn Roman, and he would vanish behind Kremlin protection. Standard procedures guaranteed failure. So, the Secret Service proposed something unprecedented. They would bypass treaties, courts, and paperwork entirely. 2 agents would fly to the Maldives as tourists, wait for Roman to check out of his resort, and intercept him at the airport before he could return to Russia. No warrants, no firearms, no legal authority. A reverse heist. Instead of stealing money or assets, they would steal a man. The mission was risky enough to ruin careers, provoke a diplomatic crisis, or land the agents in a Maldivian prison. To execute this audacious plan, they required a partner in the Maldives. Local authorities agreed to cooperate under a clever legal fiction. Seleznev would be detained for a fabricated immigration violation. On paper, it was a routine deportation. In reality, he would be handed to the Americans. Total silence was paramount. Any warning to the Russian embassy would collapse the operation. 2 days before Seleznev's scheduled departure, the agents arrived in the Maldives on a commercial flight, blending in as sunburned tourists with snorkeling gear and hotel reservations. That night, they met the chief of the Maldives Police Service in a small station near the airport. Screenshots, spreadsheets, and reports documenting 2.9 million stolen accounts were laid across a wooden table. The chief, accustomed to petty theft and visa overstays, was stunned. The Americans explained the plan. The Maldives would expel him as an undesirable alien, allowing U.S. agents to take custody. The chief agreed, understanding the risks, provided there was total silence and no diplomatic leak. Despite the storm, Seleznev's flight to Moscow was scheduled for that evening. Waiting was not an option. The agents prepared to move, fully aware that one misstep could expose the operation and create an international incident. At the airport, Seleznev strolled toward immigration with the relaxed confidence of a man who believed he was untouchable. Behind the counter, Maldivian officers waited, red flags preloaded in the system. Within seconds, he was flagged and escorted into a windowless room. His girlfriend was blocked from following. Seleznev was dragged through sheets of rain into an unmarked SUV, which sped toward the Gulf Stream parked at the executive terminal. Thunderous monsoon winds battered the vehicle as the agents raced against both time and diplomacy. Phones buzzed with warnings. The Russians knew. At the jet, Roman resisted fiercely. Handcuffed and restrained to a medical seat, he shouted warnings about international law and threats from his father in the Russian parliament. The lead agent remained calm. The Gulf Stream roared down the rain-soaked runway and lifted into the stormy sky. Despite commands from the Maldivian tower to return, the pilots ignored them, climbing toward 40,000 feet and international airspace. Over the next 12 hours, the Gulf Stream flew east toward Guam. Roman sat restrained, exhausted, while the agents powered up his laptop. Still unlocked and logged in, the device revealed active operations, sales dashboards, pending transactions, and detailed links between aliases and servers. The data was an intelligence goldmine, confirming every detail investigators had gathered over a decade. Yet the operation also raises difficult questions. If such tactics can be applied to a criminal, could they also be used against journalists, dissidents, or innocents? The line between enforcement and abduction remains murky, a reminder of the extraordinary power wielded by those willing to break the rules in pursuit of justice. Roman Seleznev remains behind bars, and his story stands as a testament to one of the most audacious and calculated operations in Secret Service history, a high-stakes, decade-long pursuit that concluded in a monsoon, on a distant island, and ultimately on American soil. If you want to uncover more jaw-dropping stories of hackers, audacious operations, and the secrets the world's most wanted criminals wish you never knew, hit that subscribe button now and join us as we reveal the stories mainstream media won't touch.